Howdy, y'all. How's it going? Happy Thursday. We're back. I just finished doing a work stream about a half hour ago, and I hammered a meal and cleaned my desk a little bit, and now we're here. How you doing? How's your category underscore with the triple underscore? Are you no category? There's a person who was here before with no category, so okay. Just checking. I know it's a common word, but I was just like, wait a minute. We're back! Raphael, thank you so much. Happy Thursday. Thank you for the sub. I'm obligated to inform you, if you subscribe with Prime, with a gift sub, with a regular sub, you get access to our Discord and it's cool. But hello, yes, we're back. We're back. This is week 2 of being back. I finally got like approval up the chain to stream on my personal channel during work hours, and so we're big GitHub fans here. Everybody use GitHub Copilot. There we go. We're covered. You're right. This is not Fortnite. Does it say Fortnite somewhere? Let me know. Yeah, that's all GitHub. But yeah. Anyway, I actually do have some issues I want to work on. I don't know if some people here might have seen, but there's an app I made earlier this summer called PocketCal, and I did vibe code a lot of it, but then I made a bunch of changes and stuff. I'd say it got me like 70% of the way there. I've been really happy with it, but now I have to make updates that like people have requested, things where I'm just like, oh wait, that actually is a really good idea. And some people have made PRs and I need to actually like go through the PRs and approve them. The category is software and game development. There you go. Okay, good. Phew, not Fortnite. I was about to be like, oh no, I don't know if I've ever streamed Fortnite. I don't think my graphics card is good enough, honestly. That's okay. All right. Anyway, I'm going to pull up the repo that I wanted to edit, and we'll go from there. 1 second. But besides that, how are y'all doing? Also, if the music is too loud, let me know. I can't actually tell until I watch the stream after, because I just like adjust things and hope and pray. So if it's too loud or something, let me know. You know what's terrible? Okay, hang on. I opened my repo on my screen. Look at that button. Look how, do you see that? I wonder if I zoom in, if it'll be worse. It is. Look at that. But you know what? I work here. I'm going to screenshot this in disgust and paste that in a channel. Because I loathe that. Okay. I've pasted it. That'll be fixed. And if they don't, I will. Although one time there was a visual bug like this. Not even one time. My first week there was a visual bug like this, and I was like, hey, I'm new to GitHub. I'll just fix the button. I messed up. Turns out you should use the existing design system. I thought I was, but there were like some components that weren't supposed to be touched, where I just wasn't. I didn't know where those docs existed, so I thought I fixed a tiny thing, and I ended up just breaking pull requests for a spell. But luckily it was only like, it was a very quick thing that people were able to roll back. It worked fine in like dev, but not in prod. Anyway, I'm nervous to break prod now, but we'll fix that button. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome. Yes, I will fix that. You're trying to use OpenSpec to generate docs for me. It's weird not writing them myself. Yeah. I feel back and forth on that. What's interesting is I feel like a lot of technical writers who write really solid documentation were laid off in like the waves of layoffs over the past couple years. But the companies that are really hiring tech writers are very AI first companies. And so I'm like, all of you organizations that are laying off writers saying AI can do it, note who is hiring tech writers. Using AI for writing, I dislike. I like it for helping proofread, or I like it for like saying, okay, what do you like about this? What do you dislike about this? But there have been so many times where I'm just like, I just don't like anything that it writes, or it makes sense to me, but then if I were to give it to any other human, it's really hard to read. I'm ranting. Anyway, what's your take on people being skeptical with using AI in their workflow? Fair. I think the reality is that a lot of people are using AI now for a reason. It does make people feel more productive. There is a difference between feel more productive and be more productive. There's been studies on that. I think in terms of companies, and keep in mind who I work for, so I'm going to be a little political here. I think that some companies are putting big investments in the most forward-thinking technologies they can muster to prove to the shareholders, to the board, and to the world that they are innovative companies. And I think that we will see which things last soon enough. I think we're in an era of AI being shoved in our faces, and it's going to go away at some point. I don't know if that's soon, but at some point. But there's too much money in it right now to not have it shoved in our faces. So that is as delicate as I can put it. I think it's very fair to be skeptical. Oh yeah, no, it's a giga bubble is a great way of putting it. I think it's fair to be skeptical. That being said, what's been really nice, and actually when I wrote PocketCal, I made a how it was built blog post, and I'll pop that in the chat in case you want to read. But AI was not that great. That being said, it got me to a point where the mental lift was gone to start. And that's where it has been particularly powerful for me lately for side projects, where like it got me a lot of the way there, not all the way there, but it got me just enough of the way there to get like this app shipped that I was able to then say, okay, you don't know what you're talking about in terms of CSS. I'm going to write that. Or I want the header to look a very specific way on mobile, where if I were to zoom in, you can kind of see it. Like being able to just scroll in this header and have like this button to expand and collapse it. The current models simply don't, they couldn't do that. That is just the reality of it. There are some things that still require that lovely human touch. But oh yeah, I love that what Jason Langsdorff said. Companies are starting to realize they need to support developer communities again if they want healthy AI adoption. 100%. And I am saying that actively knowing that my job is literally to support developer communities. So I'm very heavily biased there, but also at the same time, my inbox has never been more lit. Like there was a dry spell for a while. You know how recruiters are, where they'll say like, do you want this random low-paying job in Pittsburgh where you have to move or something? There was none of that for so long, but now all of the developer relation jobs that had dried up for quite a while, because the reality is people were getting laid off in DevRel and it was a lower priority, it's coming back in waves, huge waves. And so I'll be curious to see how that goes. Oh hey, how's it going? It's been a minute. Java Witch, we like ran into each other. I'm telling the rest of the chat this. We ran into each other, quote unquote, on TikTok, which is a weird thing to say, but we like both are into specific niches of TikTok that are not tech. And I was just like, wait a minute, you're here. And it was kind of fun. Anyway, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second while I look at the chat. As a junior, I'm kind of forced to constantly use AI to show that I'm good and can deliver fast. I don't like it, and I feel like I can stop learning many details when AI codes for me. Any tips? That's real. That's real. I think that the fact that you are using AI and willing to use AI is a good thing, especially in this job market, because people are going to ask. Like, that's just the unfortunate reality. People will ask, hey, can you use AI tools? Which AI tools do you use? Blah, 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 blah. That being said, you don't want it to think for you too much. And it's very tempting to use it as a crutch. And I have to encourage you to, like, when you're thinking through problems, it's okay to use AI. It is. But if you really don't know what it's doing, take a step back and be just like, okay, I'm not going to accept these changes. I'm not going to accept this autocomplete unless I fully understand it. Because eventually you're going to have to speak to your work. You're going to eventually, like, be in a code review and people will be like, why did you do that? And you're going to have to be able to explain why. And you can't just say, AI did it for me, because you're putting your name on it. You may have guided the agent or the autocomplete or whatever to do stuff, but you're still putting your name on it. And so the biggest tip I can give you is to, like, also communicate too. I'm like adding all of these different things to it, but communicate where your weaknesses are and where your strengths are. It's okay to be transparent about it, and I think people will be grateful to you for it, so that they can know when to manage their expectations, and you can figure out, okay, I'm going to need AI to do this, and I can do this issue, but this is an area of struggle for me, so that people are aware and can coach you in the right directions. Anyway, I was low-key shocked when a dev at work told me he didn't have Copilot installed yet. Fair. I know. I actually wrote a blog recently on the GitHub blog where they asked me to write something about the Octoverse report, which is like, it's like the state of development on GitHub. And I will paste that link here. It'll be there in a second. Yeah, that one. The reality is, if you're not using AI, chances are you will soon. I'm not saying you have to. I still like writing code without AI on occasion. Sometimes I'll open up CodePen and be like, I want to experiment with this thing. And it's nice to just, like, quietly code. Sometimes I toggle Copilot on and off. But for shipping things, a very real reality is that it's more and more popular every day. I fear how much production code out there is just AI did it and nobody really understands it. 100%. There's actually an interesting quote that I saw, and one of my teammates is going to write a blog post on this, where it was like, the rise of TypeScript specifically and typed languages in this era of AI, because people are like, okay, if it's going to be vibe coded, if it's going to be AI driven, it should at least be a typed language that is stricter about what can be written and what can be shipped. Which makes sense in theory, but yeah, I thought that was funny. Hello, what do you think of native mobile development, iOS specifically, and is cross-platform good enough? I made my first cross-platform app this summer. I'm going to pull it up, and I want to say first, before I say anything else, I'm okay. And the reason why I say this is because the app I made is called Ducts, as in tear ducts, and it's an app for tracking how often you cry. I made this with React Native. It was very fun. I only shipped it for iOS because the Android emulator made me want to set my computer on fire. But it was a very fun app to build. I used some AI for it. I made a build log for this one as well, if you want to go to my blog. But yeah, I think it's nice. iOS is where all the money is anyway. Yeah. I did make it a paid app, and I mostly just want to make up for the cost of the Apple Developer Program. Why is it $99 to ship apps? So I've made about $27 so far. If you're interested in an app for tracking how often you cry, it's a fully private app where, like, there's no cloud syncing, but you can import and export your data. I know some people I know who track how often they cry on, like, a note on their phone. I've made an actual, this was like way overkill, but I made an import helper with like a sample CSV file and like a date time converter specifically for being able to import your tears into the app. So anyway, that's the app I built with React Native. My thoughts are it was pretty good. This was my first ever React Native app. I had like dabbled in it when React Native first came out ages ago. Yeah, oh, thanks for liking the logo. Yeah, that was honestly, the logo was a really significant part of why I built this app, because I thought it'd be fun to make an app where the two T's looks like tears. If you don't have homemade tears, app importer are fine. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think React Native was very cool. It was a good experience. For good enough to replace native development, it was good enough for me. I'm gonna use the senior engineer line of, it depends. It depends on what you want to do. I'm scrolling back to catch up with the chat. Let's see. Lately I've been using AI a lot the way Brainstory worked and having it ask me questions and then summarize a conversation. Same. So for those who don't know, Brainstory was my AI-driven brainstorming app where it used like Socratic questioning to ask you questions about ideas you have to help you flesh out your ideas. I rebuilt it just for me. It's like in a private GitHub Spark repo because it is not good enough to ship to any other human beings, but for me it's perfect. Maybe I'll just make the repo public. I gotta like mess with some things before I can, but yeah, I really love using AI for brainstorming, purely because a lot of times like it's gonna ask a question that like someone else would ask, but it's nice to be able to just think out, be just like, okay, I'm thinking about writing a blog post about this topic. And then it'll say like, okay, who's your audience? I'm like, oh, it should probably be this. Okay, what are the main points you want to hit? And just kind of forcing me to answer those questions rather than it answering those questions for me. That's pretty nice. Okay, let's see. I am still catching up. Thanks for the people saying hey. I'm glad to be back streaming. It has been a while, but it's been fun. There's plenty of human written code that nobody understands how it works too. Yeah, fair. I'm lucky to be in a role which isn't delivery deadline heavy, so I'm free to work without AI and without pressure. Nice. Yeah. I just saw, Jowich, I saw your, wait, what? I love your songs. You're my favorite musician. Are you mixing me up with someone else? Let me know. Because if you're talking about songs, I haven't put out music unless it's me like memeing on something. Like I sang Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters in a Toad voice. I'm pretty sure that's not what you mean. Let's see. I'm a third-year engineering student. Oh, nice. You've been following on Scrimba? Thanks. Welcome to the stream. You're here to learn and how to get involved with the community. Well, welcome. Use the chat as networking, people. You never know what it could lead to. I have all the prompts y'all open sourced somewhere. Oh yeah, so Brainstory, I was talking about the brainstorming app. If you are interested, we open sourced it before we had to shut it down. So it's github.com/brainstory, and all of the prompts that we used and everything are in here. And so you could use it to create your own brainstorming app. It's been great. So what I did, actually, I'll just show you, why not? In GitHub Spark, so if you go to Copilot and then you go to Spark right here, it says preview. I think everybody has access to it. You could say like, create a web app that does blah, blah, blah. People have made games with it. I've made it for like really basic stuff. Like this Netlify form builder has been really nice because it just, I put in the fields that I want and it generates the code for a Netlify form. It's a glorified HTML form, but it's nice to have it just as a little script. My one complaint with Spark is that it doesn't like cache the build, so I have to wait for it to build everything all over again every time. Although maybe that's what the publish button is for. This is me not knowing our products well enough. Don't tell my boss. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so anyway, it's kind of nice, right? So I'll say like, okay, I want a text field, a text area, a radio group, blah, 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 blah. I can also edit it and do. And then after doing it, I can preview it and then get the HTML code that's all like Netlify-y. And so it'll automatically be detected when I use it on Netlify. It's kind of nice, right? And I also have CSS styles that you can copy as an optional thing. That was a nice little app. I like the idea of using a Brainstory stand-in, but it makes me feel bad that I'm talking to a real person. That's fair. more think it's alleviating the effort on the people who I would be talking to. Because I do like brainstorming with humans, don't get me wrong. It's nice to kind of bounce ideas off of each other. Or I just did a work stream on the GitHub stream about an hour ago. And we were brainstorming what we want to do for the GitHub Game Off, which, let me just pull this up while that's loading. Game Off. That one. GitHub Game Off, the theme this year is waves, if you want to try it. She came up with some ideas that I never would have come up with purely because she knew about like some old game from the 80s or 90s or something, and I was like, oh wait, that's genius, let's do that. That kind of brainstorming happens with a human, but when it's like something I just want to work on with myself, I made this thing that I call Idea Buddy. It uses the exact prompts from the Brainstory repo. Man, again, things are loaded a little slowly, but whatever. And so I can talk to it about my ideas. And so if I wanted to, what should I talk about? Let's say I want to write a blog post about something. What should my blog post be about? Maybe I'll just say that. I want to write a blog post about something, but I'm not entirely sure what my blog post should be about. I think that I would like to write a technical blog because I haven't written one in a minute, but I also want to write a productivity blog because I usually write like what my productivity tool roundup is every year, and I haven't done one of those yet this year. And I also think it'd be interesting to do some kind of like gift guide for the holidays, but I'm not sure. I just want to write a blog post. And so then I hit stop listening, then it processes the transcript, it uses the prompt, and then it gives me a little response. It sounds like you got directions in mind, a technical blog or a productivity one. Both are great options. Let's explore this. And so like it then dives deep a little bit in the topics until I decide something. And so it asks questions rather than giving me ideas, and that part is kind of nice. The one problem with this is I am not using any APIs for the audio transcription. I'm using the built-in browser, and that unfortunately only works on a PC, which is fine, but then I can't use this like on my phone or on a Mac because Safari has that really locked down, which is a pain. But anyway, that's my little rebuilt version of Brainstory. Hang on, catching up with the chat. Join the Discord. There's no trolls here. Yeah, definitely no trolls. No way. If you are a sub, a Prime sub, a gift sub, a regular sub, or if you sub on Patreon, you can join our Discord group, and it is full of people who are definitely not trolls. Let's see. I think I tried Netlify once on your recommendation, and I've never ever tried to find another website host since. It works, right? Like, I know I'm biased because I used to work there, but I just don't have a need for other ones. Like, I feel like I should try like Cloudflare and stuff, but it gets the job done. I like it. I don't often come on Twitch, and I was looking for something like PocketCal for months. Nice! Yay! Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, no, don't. I see you saying I hope it remains online. It will stay online. What's really nice about it, and I'll pull it up again, is it's fully client driven, and the state of the app is in the URL. And so like I'm gonna do just an example of like Twitch streams and do like Thursdays. And notice how it does like the multiple highlight, and I'll just add a few different ones. And so I could say like, I could click multiple days and it'll just do like stripes. That's PocketCal. It's very straightforward. But the state of the URL, and I could say include weekends or not, and so I'll highlight today or not. The state is all in the URL. So if I copy this URL into the Twitch chat, it's an ugly URL, but all of you should see this calendar right here in there because the state of the app is in the URL. And so anyway, I'm glad you like it. And I also want to update the issues for it today. The Discord server link, if you are a sub, it should automatically come to you. Twitch does some magic there. Or if you're a sub, like it'll like email you or message you. Or maybe Discord does it. Is your Twitch connected to your Discord? If so, it should work. If not, message me on Discord and I'll get you situated. Anyway, mobile keyboards have voice transcription input. That's true. But yeah, that real-time transcription was just, it was literally, it's the Windows browser transcription. And I say Windows specifically because it works on Windows, but it's built into the browser itself. Anyway, let's work on some issues. We're human issues, yeah, but also some code issues. I've been meaning to update PocketCal for a minute, and I had a baby, so it's been particularly challenging, to say the least, to focus on contributing to open source, but one must. 1 second while I drink water. So some people have made PRs, but I haven't tested any of them. And I feel guilty because some of these are from June. Okay. Okay, I like their general design for dark mode, but I don't like the persistence in... Wait a minute. What are they persisting in local storage? Hang on. Let me see what they did here. Okay, so they created some CSS variables. I will also run it, but I'm looking. Babies, pff, what do they change? I know, right? I love my babies. They are so cute. That I do have very little time to myself, though. Okay, let's see. There's a theme. Oh, they added a whole... Okay, so it's a new hook for using the theme. And so, like, the chevron color based on the dark... okay. I don't know if I love this. I'm gonna keep looking. Okay, they're using CSS variables all over. Different border color stuff. I do appreciate the variables. I think the variables is a good choice, generally. So they added a bunch of CSS variables. They added transitions for different colors, which I can appreciate. Some of these I can kind of skim a bit more than others. Excuse me. Okay, besides the CSS. Okay, I can appreciate that. That's not bad. A theme toggle button. Oh, I didn't actually see where the theme toggle button was. I'm gonna look at it in a second. Moon icon and sun icon. So they had a moon and sun icon for that. Yeah, man, I don't like this is dark mode, what's it called, ternary that they're using everywhere. I feel like that should be established somewhere else and you put in the variable, but one thing at a time. Then they added the theme here, which set a variable. Okay. This is the icon, this is that icon. Use theme. Okay, I've seen code like that before. Okay, here's where all these variables are. Woo! Okay. Sure. Oh, let me look at the chat really quick. What camera do you use for streaming? Thanks! I need to update my commands. It is a Sony a6100. I got it on Craigslist. Okay, the fact that they have this comment, remove the media query since we're handling theme manually, that means that AI wrote that. Because why would a human write this in a comment in the code, right? What lens? I am using a Sigma 30mm lens, which came with it on the Craigslist posting. It came with 3 Sigma lenses. I think the 16mm, the 30mm, and the 50mm. And so I tried, yeah, Sigma, I know. And so I've experimented with a bunch. I need to put the pictures that I took with the different lenses somewhere, but this is the one that I liked. Yeah, this is such an AI comment. I loathe this, actually. So that right away, gotta get rid of it. But what is this store? Okay. So they have the app state for the theme. Why are there... This is such a big change. 566 lines? Okay, the themes, sure. What? Oh no. What are you doing? Oh no. They used AI. This AI just made stuff up. Oh no. It's kind of funny actually. Okay. So a lot of this is just reinventing the wheel. I got this file is so big I gotta look side by side. And I'm not saying all of this to like bash the person for using AI. People use AI, that's cool. But there are times where you need to look at something else. How do you do the column side by side? Where is it? Okay. What's happening? Where's my columns? Do you all see where the 2-column button is? Side by side is the gear at the top. Thank you. Gear at the top. Gear. Thank you. That, I did not love how hard that was to find, but that's okay. Okay. Apply and reload. Okay, this... I'm gonna just say viewed. And comment on this file. Scope. Creep for this PR. But I'll allow it. These are using just the variables and it's adding transitions. I think that's fine. This was using use theme. I'm just going to do viewed for all of the CSS files. I need to look at the actual icons. I need to actually run this thing, but I really want to see the side by side of the store because that was some big changes. She doesn't even know how to use her own company's product. I know. Well, normally I don't have to do the side by side because normally the diffs aren't 500 lines for one file. Ugh. I know. There's a lot of white space in that file. If you disable white space, it's a plus 86. Oh, really? Okay. Please don't tell my bosses that I needed help finding a button. Please. I beg. Okay, anyway. Theme stuff. These make sense. These make sense. Getting the initial theme for the default state? Sure. This. Okay. Excuse me while I read silently. Let's see. Okay. A lot of this is just rearranging functions unnecessarily. Like, they didn't need to do all of this, you know? Once again, not bashing them. I think it's more just a thing where I'm like, you know, I think they're doing too much. Like, what? Why is set state, set state? This is the exact same function. Why is it literally just because you rearranged this whole file? Did you need to? I think so. I think these are literally just rearranging files. These try catches. These are the exact same functions. Okay. That's actually helpful though to see that. Did one of my interns open this PR? No bash to interns, but also it is somewhat bold to make such a massive PR that's supposed to just do one thing but then does a little too much. Okay. Generate shareable URL. Why did they like added... Why did this... Once again, I think this was... I would bet money that they used like Claude Sonnet 3.7, where and this is for those who know, Claude Sonnet 3.7 tends to reinvent the wheel and do too much. That's what this feels like. it's the change I like the least is that they changed the prettier settings. I know. Like, there's some things where it's just a little too much. One time someone made a PR onto my personal blog just changing the design, and the PR just said made the design more clean and better. And I was like, hello? And it wasn't like anything necessary. Like, I would understand if it was like changing the line spacing a little bit or something, but no, they changed the font, they changed everything, and I was just like, this is my personal blog, what are you doing? But yeah, it reeks of I couldn't get this to pass, so I changed the rules. Yeah. And they're doing, what are they doing here? Why are they doing this here? Okay, so then they moved the theme stuff down here. I don't know if I think that this is all they needed to add. But instead they changed just far too much. They changed far too much. And once again, like the fact that there's comments where it's like, remove the media queries since we're handling these manually. That's such an AI comment. That doesn't need to be there. Why is this in the diff? Maybe I'll just reject it. I feel guilty. Cause this person did try a little bit, but then I think they did a little too much and too little on that front. Like, they should have reviewed their own code a little bit more. Where is the dark mode button? Oh, and you know, this is me being a snob. Tell me if I'm being too snobby. So, colors, everything, fine. I don't like the spacing of the button. I think a check mark would be fine. You know? Am I being a snob here? Like, it feels like the spacing is off and the button is like a different theme than the other buttons, and in a different place than the other buttons. Yeah, the corner is, it doesn't feel right. I appreciate the colors themselves, but yeah. I think I'm gonna say no to this. I appreciate it, I do. But I think there's just a few too many changes that I dislike. And I don't want to just say I dislike it, but also, did I even... Okay, I did add an issue for this. Oh, I added this issue like 3 months after they made this. Oh no, I feel bad. Ugh, I feel bad. But adding dark mode shouldn't be that many changes, and they changed a little bit too much. I feel bad. I'm going to click abandon review. I'm going to close the PR, but I'm going to explain why. Okay. Thank you so much for your PR. I just went through it and I appreciate what you've done here. There's a few things that expand beyond the scope of the issue. For example, adding extra prettier rules, some AI comments in the CSS, and rearranging the state or the store file to add the theme functionality. That being said, once again, thank you for efforts here. Is that too nice? Or is that okay? Or is that too harsh? I feel so bad when people have done like free work for an app, but it's just not it. Here's a clip of my stream where I explain what I didn't like. I know, right? Expanding on the opposed scope of the issue. Closing now. I'm moving on with my life. This is good enough. Would a mediocre white man feel bad? Love that you asked that. Probably not. Okay, closing. Blammo. Alright. Other PRs. Day of the week setting. Oh yeah, this is one that I really did want to add. Because here in the US, we start days of the week on Sundays on calendars, but that's not what everyone does. I think you're being a little nice, but it's valuable to point out how much of it is overstepping. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, I did want to make this a thing, but I need to look at the code really quick. Okay, so they add a first day of the week. Great. Nice little state for that. First day of the week. Oh, they just label it that way. Oh, that's kind of nice. Does that affect calendar days? I need to check. I think I actually need to run this one to make sure that these adjusted days are okay. Yeah, so I've viewed this, but I need to check it again. Actually running it. Let's see. This says start week. Maybe instead of start week, I would be just like first day of week, Sunday, Monday, instead of start week. Or maybe start week with. That's just copy though, that's fine. I like that it's just a 0 or 1. And then in the store, they have first day of the week. One of those. Okay. First day of the week. See, this is how tiny the store chain should be. 9 lines. That is beautiful. I love a short PR. Okay. Default to Sunday, explicitly typed. They add that in there. Add the first day of the week. Great. Okay. This seems, the code seems clean. Charlie, good luck with your interviews. Funny story, we recently had a very angry sounding email from someone saying our product didn't work, providing no details. I asked Gemini for a professional way to say, hey ding dong, you're being dumb. And it was actually pretty good. Nice. But yeah, if they're going to change something so big, there needs to be tests. Or like you don't want to just rewrite a bunch, you know? Exactly. I don't want to reason through the code. The presence of tests shows me whether the author spent time making sure it was correct. Exactly. The changes are just small enough, and they should be that, like, it feels right. So that being said, the branch is this. Does that just copy? Okay. The branch is this. I'm going to try to check it out here. You know, this is a little skinny. I think I can do git checkout that, right? How do you check out an origin branch or a remote branch? Is it git checkout remote something something? I should know this. Git commands, man. Okay. Pull remote git branch. Okay, I did the git pull. I know. Git pull remote name, remote branch name. Git pull origin. Okay. Fetch first. Git remote, add remote. Well, it's already connected. Like I've already done the pull. Let me see what are y'all saying? Git checkout remote / branch. And so let's just try this. Git checkout. Would that work? Nope. Oh wait, hang on. Are they on a fork? That changes things too. I think they actually are on a fork. 1 second. Excuse me. I keep coughing. My babies have colds and it's catching up to me. Okay. They are... Let me just check really quick. Okay, so they are on a fork. Great. Okay, cool. You know, this is what I think I can do. I'm gonna just try, oh my word. Windows. Let me clear this. I need to add the upstream. This is such a pain. This is why I use Git UIs if I'm ever doing something more than just like merging my own branches. Okay, yeah, 1 second. Because who can memorize all of these things? Oh yeah, or use the GitHub CLI. Wait, I have that. Duh. Thank you. Oh my word. What? Okay, whatever. Shh, 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 shh. Don't yell at me. Stop screaming. Okay. I am reviewing a PR which came from a fork of my public repo. I want to pull it locally. The branch is called. Give me the git commands. Okay, great. And I think it's just PocketCal. Actually, this is where I... Okay, no. PocketCal, get the fork. Oh no, I don't want to fork my own. No. Okay, oh my word. Let me get his fork. Which once again was right there. I want to make sure I get the right one. Yeah, nice. It was just PocketCal. Great. Okay. Okay. X57, and then I'm just gonna check out the branch. Okay. Wait, but that's not the... Okay, you know what? Let's see if that worked. Thank you all. You did tell me what to do, but I wanted to copy and paste something, so here we are. Do you consider choosing to bet on React.js was one of the best decisions of your career? No. I mean, I'm glad I did. It was a good choice for me, especially because I bet on it very early in my career, and very early in the life of React, and it is so popular now today. That being said, I don't know if it's like a decision where I'm just like, this is going to take me there. I don't know. It doesn't feel like that. It more is just like a thing that I naturally fell into because my job asked me to write React, and so I started writing React. Hello, Bathu727. I am doing well. Local host, not 3000, but 5173. Let's see it. Let's see if this works. Oh no. Wait, what? What? I'm npm installing again. I shouldn't have to, but I'm doing it. Do you ever wonder what alternative universe Angular Cassidy is up to? She's probably at so much peace. No. Okay, let's try this again. Aha, weird. Okay. I did something wrong because the toggle... Oh wait, no, there it is. Nice. Okay. So the first is on a Saturday, and if I switch this to Monday, the first is still on a Saturday. Okay. And then if I do this, add a new group, blah, 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 starting on Monday to do this and this. And then we just do a couple more here. And then I'm going to toggle this back to Sunday. Okay, that seems to work. And then, really quick, can somebody click this link? Oh no, wait, you can't because it's localhost. Okay, that's so funny. That's my bad. Fada Wolf, hello, welcome. Okay, I'm gonna pull this link up in a new window. Great. Okay. Okay, nice. That PR worked. Amazing. Now how do I go back to main? I want to go back home. I do want to change this thing that says start week. Instead of start, I want it to be like day, start of the week, starting day, something like that. That's the only change I want to make. When your friends wants to show you a website and sends you a code. I know that was my bad. That was not my finest moment. Let's see. That was in the sidebar for start week. Yeah, I want the copy to look. Let me think. What would some good words be? Let me think. Instead of start week, start of the day, start of the week, start. I think you're the first person I check their GitHub and see a staff. Oh, hey. Yeah, that's me. What would you label this? First day of the week? Let me, it could be start of the week, first day. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. Start of week. First day of week. Does anybody have a preference? I don't have a preference. Week starts. Oh, yeah, week starts on. I like that. Week starts on, or week starts with. That's ending with a preposition. Is that okay? That's okay. Week. Or it could just be week start. But then start month, week start. I get why they did start week. But start week feels like this is the start. Maybe start day. Start the week on. Oh, Thunderbird config does that? I'm copying Thunderbird. Thank you for telling me that. Okay. Start the week on. Oh wait, let me look. How do I do this? Okay. Start the week on. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to add this single comment. And then besides that, this is awesome and super clean. Thank you. Fully tested it and will be shipping. Blammo. It's splitting hairs. Yeah, I don't wanna like lean on it too much, but start the week on. If someone else does that, I'm committing it. Change sidebar language around first day of the week. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen you stream in forever. I didn't stream for a long time. I streamed last week for the first time in like over a year. It was a while. And I have approval now to stream on my personal channel during work. So yay. Hey there, what languages are you most experienced with? Probably JavaScript and web stuff in general. But I dabble, you know, as one does. Checking the ability to merge automatically. It shouldn't take that long. Although I think like the status page has been... It's been struggling a little bit today. Everything's fine now. Earlier today was not great. See that? Yeah. All of that non-green. There was some roughness earlier, but we're all good now. Okay. Deploy preview's ready. Let me just check it out really quick. Start the week on. That looks good. I'm going to try it on a quote-unquote mobile view really quick by just zooming in. It's still good. Checking this, doing this. Okay, note how I just did Monday there. And so if I scroll here and do start the week on Monday, everything is shifted. That Monday is first. Okay, nice. It looks good, people. We did some things. Blammo. Merged. Wow, that feels nice. Oh wait, and actually I don't know. Fixed by number 2. Okay, great. That one's done. So we still need to add dark mode. Add start month picker compatibility for Firefox and Safari. Oh, right. I remember seeing this and this made me deeply upset. You know, I don't want to do this right now. We'll do this later. There's some issues that are just gross. What did they do? Okay, let me just look. This actually isn't too bad. That's actually kind of nice. I want to actually review this a bit more deeply. Input type month is not available. It's displayed as a text input, then it breaks because if you try to input a new number, it produces a 3-digit month. Oh no. Why would it do such a thing? This is actually kind of cool how they fixed it. I would not have done this, but I appreciate it. If you wrote it in Rust, you wouldn't have this issue, you know? You're right, I would have a lot of different issues. I would have more issues. Let me just look for other things. Wait, add week starter and fold up to hide settings. Oh no. Okay, so this person, it sounds like they used an LLM based on me writing a blog post. Now I feel guilty. Hang on. Fold up and fold down for settings. Oh no. They did so much more. Oh, and they made stuff up. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Oh no. They installed something else too? This is an AI PR to the core. Look at these comments. Oh no. No puedo. I appreciate that they wanted to put in some effort to help. I do. But this is a 0% human PR. And I'm okay with it being 0% human if it got the job done in a clean way, but that is not what this did. I'm gonna just say the start on Monday PR was merged before in a different way, so no need to implement it here. I think the collapsing of settings is a good idea though, maybe for another PR. Thank you for contributing your ideas. I'm not gonna overthink it. It's fine. It's fine. Closing. Okay. Okay. I have to look at that one. Okay, what is this? A stub for GCal import. Oh, this is that same person. Okay. This isn't real. And they're branching off. Oh. Stop adding stuff to my README. Look at this. Expanded on by blank. I appreciate wanting credit. But then you don't do it that way. I should do like I don't need to say more. I should have like profile pictures of people who contributed. Another time. Later. Hello, David. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be back. Okay. I'm just gonna close this. Oh, well, it's a draft. What do people actually? This is a best practices question. If someone has made a draft PR in one of your repos that has no issues attached to it, and they're just making stuff up, What? That moment of silence was perfect. Do you just leave the draft and then close it after they've added more? What do you say? How do you say, hey, stop that? You know? What is the etiquette here? I feel like this is something I just haven't considered before, where someone just leaves a draft in one of my repos. Maybe I'll just leave it for now. Maybe it'll be a New Year's cleanse. Contribution guidelines. Honestly, great point. I need to just add contribution guidelines. That's real. Ugh, okay, you know what? I am going to do this. Wait, do I even have Firefox installed? I should. Okay, I do. Nice. Great. Because I'm going to need to use Firefox to test this. When was the last time I used it? It's been a minute. I should give Firefox another chance. I was getting annoyed with how many sites didn't work on Firefox that I kind of shut it out. You set up a stale bot and let it close for you. Oh, that's a good idea too. Is there a squirt bottle emoji? You either tell them you don't think this feature makes sense, or you tell them not to waste their time. You tell them it's a good idea and to continue their work. Yeah. Almost didn't believe you were streaming again. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. If it's an AI-generated code review, you can answer with an AI-generated answer. I know. Yeah, no, Stalebot is real. I should do a Stalebot. Is there one that you can just, like, add? I should know this. I'll do this later. Okay, one thing at a time. Let's try to do this funky one. First, I'm going to git checkout main. Okay, cool. My changes were merged in. That's great. And then, okay, I want to get this person's thing. Wait, where's that Copilot chat I just had open? I want to copy all of those commands one more time. That one. Okay, cool. So it's this, but it's going to be their git remote origin. So that's this person. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but please just give me a minute. I really like their profile. I want to see what else they've made, but one thing at a time. Okay, let me copy this, and then I'm going to just use this as a temporary holding place because why not? Okay. Adding my thing. And then I'm going to do git fetch blah, and then I'm going to git checkout -b. Let me get the branch name. That. I'll do. Wait a minute. What did I mess up this time? Oh, it's just main. Okay. Hang on one sec. Wait, oh, let me see what people are saying. Hey, chat. GitHub has one. I will add it. Hey Cassidy, how do you find time to ship stuff outside of your 9 to 5? Between learning, working, and coding, it feels like it never ends. Plus I have 2 children now. It doesn't end. I find time when I can't sleep. That is the real answer. Before, I was able to be just like, I have a really strict calendar that I obey. And to an extent I still do. But, yeah. That's where I'm at. Just as Copilot directly in your terminal. You're right. Why don't I just do stuff? The thing is, it's because I'm live. when I'm normally like actually reviewing PRs and stuff on my own, I'm such a more competent developer, I promise. But let's just say I'm calling this approachability. Have I tried the GitHub CLI for PRs? I have, but it's been a minute. It's been a while. Okay. I'm reviewing a PR now from. I'm just gonna please just bear with me. Okay, that's what I wrote mostly. I wonder what I messed up. Okay, whatever. It's fine. I don't care. I'm installing just in case. I shouldn't need to. And then I'm going to run dev, and then I'm going to test it both locally and then in Firefox and stuff. Okay, 5137, blah, blah, blah. npm install, yada, yada, yada. Why? Oh, I typed install again. Once again, I promise I'm a better developer when nobody's looking at me. Just pretend you're not live. Yeah, well then you'll just hear me singing way more. I also have a full-time job and 2 kids. I wake up early to get time to write code for fun. Yeah, it's basically like, when are people unconscious? That is when I have time. I'm way more efficient with my time now than I was without babies. I think just because I'm like, I don't have time to waste. I have to do this now. Okay. Cool. Why is this taking a minute? Okay, there we go. All right. So first of all, I need to merge main into this, but that's fine. So the date picker still works. Great. Cool. Now I want to try it on Firefox. You know what? I need to look at their PR description one more time. Input date time month is not available in Firefox and Safari. Instead, it's a text input. Okay. Use an intermediate state for raw date. This is a very clever one, but I have to do some thinking. Excuse me. So it's still a month input here. It's still a month input in Chrome. But in Safari, I want to see the code. What am I looking at here? I can't hear you right now because I'm in the lobby of a hotel. Oh, but you're in San Diego. Cool. 100%. I wasted a lot of time before I had kids. Yeah, I know. Just giving Talladega Nights. What do I do with my hands? Real. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So, oh wait, it's definitely restarting where I had it at 2050. Okay, 2025. Is it a valid date? Length is 4. What's undefined? Length is 2. And so... Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, something's broken. Is that my fault? Is that the PR's fault? Is that something that could happen again on prod? Oh, wait. Okay, hang on. Sorry. I'm like thinking, but not thinking properly out loud for how I'm debugging this. So, yes, so the agents are not doing things. I'm reviewing human PRs and making minor changes to them or closing them. But yeah, no, this is human testing things. Connor, hello. Welcome. Thank you for the sub. Once again, if you're a Prime sub, gift sub, or regular sub, you can join our Discord group. Connect your Discord to Twitch and it will do the thing. Or you could use Patreon. It is not a money-making endeavor, it is more of a cool cats getting together without spammers. You need to get ducks to the Play Store. I sent it when you mentioned it to a friend who's a therapist, and she said that she already mentioned it to a client who was sad, but they're on Android. Ah! Okay. Wow, I shouted that really loudly. I just wish the Android emulator... I wish it didn't make me want to pull my hair out and just set a building ablaze. It makes me so angry. It's the worst. It's the worst. But you're right, I should try. I should try for the people who are sad and on Android. You're right. Thank you for telling your friend. You're right. Okay. Hang on. Okay. So I think I understand what they did with this PR now. So I'm going to just do 96. Okay. If I went 2026 now, that crashes it live. But in here on this branch, if I typed 2026, it's still a little broken, but it doesn't crash the whole app. Okay, I get it. I understand what they mean now by that PR description. That was a little hairy, but I understand now. Hang on, I need water. I really appreciate this. This was a very specific solve. I feel like I can't pass 10 minutes straight without reading or listening to the word AI. I know. I don't know where you work, but when you're working at a company that is very big on AI, no hate to them, gotta make money. There's a lot, but it's everywhere. But you learn to figure out what you like. I am going to approve this PR. This PR was wonderful. I am very grateful to, I think this was Sam who made it. Because that is honestly a thing I just would not have considered, and I didn't know that Firefox didn't have a month thing. Oh wait, I didn't hit the review button. Super clean and tested it out, and it works great. Thank you so much for your help on this. You caught something I didn't think to test for. I appreciate it. I'm really grateful. Have you messed with temporal zoned date time in JavaScript? No, I have not. I actually did play with it. When I first made PocketCal, I was truly just trying to escape like the early days of lack of sleep by not sleeping more. I literally made this when did I first make this? My new baby was like less than 2 months old. I think he was a month old, and I was just like, I just need to do something. So my brain was not in the best state. That being said, I do actually remember messing with that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Later. I think that was literally exactly what my thought process was. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening in the date time world, which sounds so lame. That's the kind of thing where I have a lot of like non-tech friends that are like IRL friends, and so sometimes they're just like, what do you like to talk about and stuff? I'm just like, the specificity of how like dates work in code, you have no idea. You have no concept. The bliss that you experience for not knowing anything about it is amazing. And I don't say that in like a, I know more than you. It's like I'm burdened with the knowledge of understanding of how this works. And they feel that burden with different things. A friend of mine who works in restaurants has told me horror stories, but still. Anyway, merging this. It's a call for help, yeah. I mostly work in SQL, and dates always stress me out so much. Oh my word, I can imagine. Wow, this was a really nice PR. I admit I was kind of dreading testing it and stuff, but that was really, really nice. I shouldn't be so, let's see. I shouldn't be so surprised, but it is a thing sometimes. You never know where you're just like, oh, this is a hairy bug. Okay, but that was really handy. Also, yeah, I wanted to like look. I liked their readme. This is cool. And they pay attention to accessibility and UX with JavaScript, and React and TypeScript, which makes sense why they were able to figure out that particular bug. What a cool little profile. I want to learn more, but I will stalk this person on my own time and not live. Okay, great. Blammo. Merged and done so. Okay, and so now there's just that draft thing. I'm going to set up one of those Stalebot kiddos, because yeah, I don't like that. Hang on one second, let me do GitHub PR Stalebot. It's faster to just do that. Okay. Oh my word, sorry, hang on. Hello? You scared me to death. I'm streaming. You are? Yes. Goodbye. Sorry, Joe just walked in the room and it scared me so much. Whew. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to shout that in there. That I actively thought I was about to perish for a second. Oh my word. My cold is hitting me. Imagine not knowing that milliseconds since the start of 1970 isn't the worst way to store dates. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, that was my husband Joe, everyone. Scaring me since 2015. It was actually our 8th wedding anniversary this week, which was fun. We didn't do anything, but it was fun to acknowledge that it happened. Is this like... Okay, this is... Yeah. How do I just set this up? I've never actually set up a Stalebot in my own repo before, but I want to do that now that I recall that it exists. Is he a coder too? He is. We had our 8th 2 weeks ago. Oh, nice. 2017. What a year. Oh, aha. View on Marketplace. Amazing. Use latest version. Yes. Oh. Wait. Into my YAML file where? This is where reading documentation is a good thing to do. Okay. Let me go back. Okay. This isn't helpful. And once again, I completely and entirely acknowledge that I should know how to do this as a GitHub employee. But alas, I don't. Yeah, no, I figured I have to create a .github thing. Oh wait, could I just do this here? Still? Huh? Aha! Whoa, I love it when it's buttons. Okay. I also just heard my toddler wake up from her nap, so I might have to head out soon. Okay. Mark stale issues and pull requests. Perfect. Okay. What is this default? Actions runs at most every 5 minutes. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay. And how do you say what is the specified amount of time? There's documentation. Okay. Wait, I wish I were a coder. You can be. Where is... Okay, days before stale. What is the default? I just want to know what is the default stale amount. Am I asking for too much? It is fully possible that I've lost the ability to read. Okay, so it just marks stale issues and pull requests. You can adjust the behavior, yes. There's a schedule. The stale runs latest. These are the permissions. Uses action stale v5 with repo token. Stale issue message. Oh. This... Actually, I'm not going to do a stale issue. I'm just going to do stale PRs. I assume I can just delete that. Because sometimes I will make an issue and then I will let it go stale. That is more for me, selfishly speaking. I'm just going to call the label stale. And the stale pull request message is this pull request is now considered stale. Thanks. No, I'll just do an exclamation point. And a heart. How about that? Would that be weird? Would that be cheesy? I don't care. You know, how about a crying emoji? That's funny. Things should be funnier, right? This also permissions that issues you can probably remove. Oh yes, you're right. Good call. Okay, cool. Added that. But once again, what is the default time for marking things before it is stale? Let's see. Oh, default value 60. Okay, so 60 days. Okay, I'll take that. 60 days seems reasonable. Yeah, I like it. I'm just gonna leave it at the default. Why do more than that? That forces me to be better too. Okay. Does anybody see anything here that is a red flag? Otherwise, I'm just gonna push it. I think it's fine. Let's do this. Okay. I'm just gonna say add action for stale PRs. Because I work here, Copilot automatically does the description and commit message for all of my PRs. It's not my favorite thing. Sometimes it's handy if I'm really sleepy or something, but anyway. Do you have to create your repo secret? I don't know. Do I? Probably, right? I kind of, if I gotta admit, I assumed it would just be my personal access token. Yeah, I think it's just using my personal access token. I don't think I have to commit this. That feels wrong, right? Or maybe it's right. You know what? I'm committing it. And if it doesn't work, then we know it's wrong. Okay. Yeah, YOLO. Sometimes you just gotta push. Okay. Great. 0 workflow runs. When does it run? It said like at most every 5 minutes. How about at least? Eh? Oh no, I don't want to do a new one. You know what? I don't care. It's fine. It's done. Hey there, I want to ditch Google Calendar and I was thinking of making my own implementation and self-host. Oh, are you sure? Are you sure? There's so many options in the world. I did this, and this is like barely a calendar app. It's a mark dates on a calendar app, but it doesn't actually do the scheduling stuff. Implementing a calendar app is hard. I don't want to discourage you because I think building things is cool. But also, there are other calendar apps in the world that don't rely on Google Calendar. And I might encourage you to consider them. I think that could be a good choice. For example, I don't know if you've seen Fastmail. They actually did a really cool podcast on open standards and how they implement their calendar with all the open standards of calendars. And so that's nice. Oh, good call. Cal.com exists. I should remember that. Yeah, Cal.com is good too. They have an API. Yes, full disclosure, I am a seed investor in it with someone else's money. Which sounds very sketchy. What I mean is I did some scout investing for a company where like I made the investment, but I invested other people's money into some startups. And it was like an internship, kind of. Anyway, I did invest in Cal.com. Yes, good call. Thank you for reminding me that I did that. Yeah, before making a calendar app, consider your options. I do really like the dev docs that cal.com has made for using calendar apps like that, or again, Fastmail, because it's all open standards. If you're going to build one from scratch and self-host, I do implore you to look into these two first, purely because I want to save you from the heartache of dealing with how terrible dates are, which is a very dramatic way of putting it, but I also feel that dramatic about it. You use Fastmail since 3 years ago? You know, I use Google Workspace purely because some of my friends were just like, it's good, it gets the job done, just do it. But at the same time, I kind of want to switch to Fastmail. But I know that there will be like just enough paper cuts doing that transition. It's Google. Yeah, exactly. Like that transition would be hard. Have I built a notes app? I did actually. I have like multiple notes apps in progress that I never ended up fully implementing because I use Obsidian, and Obsidian has been great for me, and I honestly don't need another notes app, but it'd be fun. I have, again, I've partially implemented multiple notes apps, but yeah, once Obsidian gets the job done. And when I was using Bear Notes for a really long time. Let me see if I can find the notes app. One of the notes apps I made. I was using Bear for a really long time, and I loved it, but it was iOS only, and I was using my what's it called, PC more and more, and so I just stopped. I stopped using Bear, and I wanted to use something more. But alas. Let me see. So I started making a notes app called Tiger, and it's actually a private repo. This was 6 years ago. I wonder if I can even pull up. Hang on 1 second. 1 second. I'm like pulling into the archives. Second. If this works, it'll be a miracle because this is old. This is old. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this was the notes app I made. You can see exactly how inspired I was by Bear. And honestly, it worked relatively well, but it had so much testing that I had to do. But yeah, this was my little notes app for a minute. Then once again, I discovered Obsidian, and yeah, it looks exactly like Bear, right? I used the Nord color scheme. Have you seen Nord? Here, 1 second. Let me get Nord away. Let me close all of this. The Nord, the Nord theme. I used the Nord theme for it. Aaron, thanks. It has been a while. Hello, welcome. I loved the idea of making a notes app, and then I learned what it means to make a notes app, and I stopped. But once again, it was fun. Maybe I'll do it again. Who knows? Anyway, copper mug, tacos, plaid. Ooh, what? Have you seen Timer? What is this? The IDE for tasks, notes, and planning. We fixed notes.txt. Real. Oh. You know, there was an app for this, and they shut down. That reminded me of that reminds me of this. Where, once again, I really like Obsidian, and I probably won't switch. For what it's worth, Radar Pixie, Bear is really nice. Obsidian, if you just think of it as it's a glorified Markdown editor, it's a glorified text editor that has Markdown, you can use it very plainly, just like Bear, just like this, just like anything. It's when you start looking into all of the crazy workflows that people have and the graph and connecting things where it starts to get way too hairy. I liked Bear for a very long time. I truly just wanted the cross-platform tool, and so that is why I ended up switching. And I use Obsidian exactly like how I used Bear. But Bear is also really pretty because it's a native iOS app. I want a web app for notes with end-to-end encryption and offline. Also outliner capabilities. Timer fits the bill. Nice. Yeah, no, it seems cool. I wonder if I can get like... I wonder if I can find... No, this wasn't it. Well, so there was a thing called Bytebase, and then it turned into Stashpad. And Stashpad was really nice, and I'm sad that they shut down. Oh wait, what's Brain Dump? Oh, it's similar, but it looks like a glorified note app. Oh, that's kind of cute. That might actually be what some of you like too. Fuzzy search, snippets, that's cute. Okay, but anyway, I want to see if I can get, maybe there's like a YouTube video of Stashpad. Rip Stashpad, you were so good. Let's see. Stashpad was great, and I'm saying this like, again, fully acknowledging that they had to shut down, but it was built like a chat app to yourself, and I think that's what was cool about it, where instead of having like your own Discord server or something, or like Signal's note to self feature, which I use actively, it's a chat app to yourself, and then you could categorize the chats that you wanted for yourself. It used a bunch of really nice keyboard commands. It had syntax highlighting, and it had a really good search. It was so nice. It was so nice. I'm very sad that they shut down. And it makes sense why they ended up shutting down. Like, it was hard to monetize a really specific developer-oriented notes app to scale the way they did. But it was cool. It's a shame. I actually think I might still have it installed. I wonder if it'll still work without any... I like had the cloud syncing and stuff, but I wonder if it'll work. No, it doesn't. Dang, that is a bummer. Rip. That's a shame. I should uninstall that to free up some computer space. But it was nice. It was nice. But yeah, I like the idea of a notes app that chats to yourself. I kind of want to recreate it, but as a side project that doesn't require venture funding to scale. But one thing at a time. But Brain Dump is interesting. I'm gonna look at that. It has Vim mode? Ooh. Ooh, I could be a snob even more so when it comes to notes. That's wonderful. Excuse me while I close all of these different tabs. The music, my commands aren't working. I need to fix it. But the music is from Epidemic Sound. It is this playlist. I will paste it in the chat. It is a service I pay for, to be clear. It is a service I pay for so that I can get music on my stream without being hit with DMCA stuff. It's a really nice service. I really like it. You can, when you do pay for it, I'm not paid by them. I pay for it. But you get a license to use their music in live streams and videos, for podcasts, various things. They have sound effects. I've used their sound effects for like games that I've made before. It's nice. I do recommend it. It's been a handy tool. And I admit I was going to cancel when I wasn't sure if I was going to pick up streaming again, because once again I had to get permission at work. But when you cancel, they give you a discount, and so then I bought it back again. I am a sucker for a discount. Okay, cool. I'm closing all of these things. Anyway, I'm glad that we got those PRs done. Those have been like weighing on me in the back of my head. I really need to go through all the PRs on the repo. And now that I have the stale thing too, that'll be nice. One thing that I do want to make in PocketCal, which it's like I made an issue for it. I haven't done anything with it yet, is to make a read-only embed. That was a request from someone that I thought was a clever idea, where if you wanted to like have a calendar of this is when this event is going to happen, and these are important dates, and have it be just like a read-only situation. I think that'd be cool. And so like basically making an embed version of PocketCal would be nice, but that takes, it shouldn't be too much effort. It shouldn't be too bad. I actually think I could do that like sans AI and just like remove certain components and embed it a certain way, but it would involve a lot of testing. And so that's why I haven't done it yet. Just wondering, why do you prefer Windows over Mac? I don't necessarily. I do use both. I use a desktop PC and I use a laptop. And so a laptop Mac. Desktop PC, honestly, I stream a lot and I make a lot of videos for work. This is my personal desktop. I use my personal desktop for a lot of work stuff, specifically because it's a machine that is hearty and gets the job done. I do have a work Mac and I do have a personal Mac that are laptops, and those I use if I'm like on the couch or coding in bed late at night or something. I have a setup that I admit I haven't really hooked up my Mac to this setup yet. There in a minute, I should say, where I have like a dock where I could switch a couple cables and then just use these monitors and all my accessories like lights, camera, mouse, keyboard, mic, etc. with a laptop hooked up to everything. But honestly, I'm just really comfortable at my desk using my PC, and luckily with a lot of web work, which is web stuff is typically what I specialize in, I can kind of switch between both, no problem. And so, yeah, that's it. No Linux, purely because I don't want to maintain an operating system. I know that that's like the stereotype and they are more modernized now, yada, yada, yada. But I have used Linux before, and I honestly I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. Please don't make me be bothered. Oh, 1 second, I gotta check. I am 9 minutes late to a meeting. So, I should probably stop streaming right now. But it's been lovely hanging out with all of you. I will raid another channel, and I'll see you next week. It's been fun. Be safe, make good choices. If you want to subscribe to my newsletter, it's cassidy.co/newsletter. Oh, not newsletters, newsletter. Oh no, Cassidy, why did you do that? Cassidy.co/newsletter. I'm glad to be back too, thank you. Subscribe to the channel or via Patreon if you want to join our Discord group where we chat about tech and vibe stuff. Later, dude. Aaron, thank you so much for coming by. It's been fun. It's been fun hanging out with all of you. I'm really glad to be back streaming, and I will be streaming more and more. I'm thinking about doing a morning stream. We'll talk about it more later. Okay, I'm going to raid someone. Justin Bieber's streaming? No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to watch someone play Go, because that's what I'm about right now. Okay. Bye, friends. See you next week. Woo.